Hi, this is Wiz. Welcome to my channel. I am so excited today because I have the privilege to drive one of my dream car and one of the most iconic Porsche 911. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the 991.1 GT3. As you may know, I love Porsche and my goal is to own one at a certain point in my life. The GT3 would be a dream come true for me, but let's talk about the present now. This is the 911.1 GT3. Introduced in 2013, it has a 3.8 flat-6 naturally aspirated engine that produces 476 horsepower and 439 Nm of torque. 7-gear PDK transmission, rear-wheel drive, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.5 seconds, slightly faster than my RS5, who does it in 3.9, but a totally different, more racing-like experience. Porsche has in the meantime introduced the 991.2 version of this model with some exterior changes and a 4 liters flat-6 this time, and the power bumped up to 500 horsepower. And I also can't wait to see the 992 GT3 iteration that should be unveiled anytime soon. But let's concentrate on this one. It's more than enough for me. White color suits very well to the 911, but you know what? I wouldn't care the color that much. Just give me one, whatever color you want. 20-inch wheels with central lock nut, again very racing inspired. Oh boy, it looks so menacing. And let's not forget that this is only the GT3. Should I have the chance to drive the GT3 RS or GT2 RS, I think I would have a heart attack. Speaking of driving a 991, I've already drove a Carrera 4S and a Carrera 4 Targa, but this is to date the most powerful Porsche I've got the chance to drive. Actually, I test drove the brand new 992 Turbo S, but I wasn't allowed to film it as Porsche Switzerland is very picky, and I guess I'm not that much an influencer. Should I have a Porsche like this one, I would try to squeeze it in my living room so I could admire it and smell it every moment. This car is really truck focused. You can see it by a lot of details. The huge fixed rear spoiler that can actually be adjusted. I love how the owner did some very subtle modifications that, in my opinion, suits very well with the car. I'm talking about the black rims, and also the 3.8 badge here is blacked out with the letter 3 and 8 in yellow. That's very cool. The GT3 logo has been replaced by a sticker. I know that the exhaust is not really stock, but I can't say much more about it. It's a secret. And then we have a covering here on the door handles, done by ID Customs in Switzerland. Porsche ceramic brakes. As I said earlier, the central lock, that is very racing look. I love it. And then on the front, you got the white Porsche badge. That's very cool. And again, those are very subtle modifications that are with approved, if you ask me. What do you think? Every single detail of this car smells track, smells racing, smells competition. I can't imagine what is to drive the GT3 RS or even GT2 RS. As I said earlier, I drove the 992 Turbo S, which is it's a weapon, but this is more hardcore. This is more track focused, while the Turbo and Turbo S are more like Grand Tourer. But I like every single detail of this car. I love it. The racing inspiration continue on the inside of this GT3. You got the bucket seats. They are not that much adjustable. I love the 4-point harness. I don't know if you call it that way. Actually, it's the first time I'm using it in a car. And what I love on this GT3 is that there are no fancy options, just what you need to drive this car. No rear seats, not that they are that important anyway, so you have a roll cage instead. A lot of Alcantara everywhere. A lovely place to do kilometers with this car. The PDK gearbox, 7 gears. Do you know actually what PDK means? It means Porsche Doppelkupplung, Porsche double clutch. I love this interior. Just what is really needed. Of course, you can customize it the way you want with the very long list of options, but speaking of a GT3, I would keep it minimalist and avoid all the comfort options. So I really want to drive this car. I feel nervous. Obviously, it's not my car, it's a rear-wheel drive, and I don't want to do anything wrong. But I am very curious to compare this car with my RS5. I know you cannot compare those two cars. They are in a total different league. I mean, 911 is something else. But I've got way more torque. I have 600 Newton meters of torque in my RS5, but I have a slightly less horsepower. So I'm very curious to see how the 911 GT3 reacts. It is the first time I use one of these harness actually. It's fancy. Let's go! Woo! Let's start with the gearbox in automatic for now. But I can already feel how raw this GT3 is. You feel and you hear every little stone on the road. I don't know if you can hear it. I love it. That's a race car. And that huge wing on the rear mirror. It's impressive. I can't imagine how impressive the one from the GT3 RS should be. Let's go manual. This car should be driven on manual. Oh boy. Just by driving at normal speeds like this, that engine sound is something else. As I told you before, the exhaust in this car is not completely stock. Wow, it is so flat on the road, so flat. Actually, what I can say already right now is that I can feel that this car has only 469 Newton meters of torque, because it pushes, don't get me wrong, but it's quite linear. But you feel everything on the road. It is a completely different experience than what I have on my car. You're driving on a racetrack every day. And I'm not even on sport mode. Let's go on sport mode. Oh yeah, it gets stiffer. Gearbox is very reactive, especially on sport mode. Even to drive it like now at 30 kilometers an hour, it is an experience. It's the Porsche. Ooh, I can't see anything with my harness. Oh. It's not practical, but I love it. This is not an everyday car anyway. If you have a car like this, for sure you want to have it daily. You want to drive this car on weekends or to go on some mountain passes, and luckily we do have a lot of mountain passes here in Switzerland. I would love to take this car there. That would be awesome. Stop at 80 kilometers an hour. Don't expect me to do anything else than respecting the drive limitation on the public road. I'm sorry, but still, it's so rewarding. I love it! Makes me wanna do these roads back and forth for the whole day. Actually, not now. Wow, 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 wow! I love it. I knew I would love it. I knew. I don't understand those famous YouTubers, you know, that have the chance to own a car like that, and they end up saying no emotions, not quick enough. Jesus, I would sleep into my car should I own one of these. How do you like that point of view? I think it's the first time I put a GoPro in that position, because I love to have that point of view from behind, but it's not really possible on every car. In the 911 is easier. I'm driving this car since the past hour now, and I feel more confident, I have to say. At the very beginning, I was so scared of everything. Now, I feel like it's okay. But still, let's not underestimate this car. I would love to drive this car on a track, on a circuit. That would be awesome. You got shaken. As I said before, a lot of noises into the cabin. But you would expect that. It's okay in this kind of car. I could not live with this kind of noises coming from my Audi RS5. In fact, I had a noise coming from the front speaker and I went twice to the garage to get that removed. And now it is removed. Here you have all kind of rattles, noises, but it's okay. Look at my car. I drive a Porsche. Wow, it's so stiff. It's so raw. Oops. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to come in town. Jesus. I might reverse a little bit. Uh-oh. I think it got stuck. Jesus. Go in town, they said. Go and drive this car in town to see what it is, how it is. Well, if you ask me, this car is not meant to be driven like this in town. This is not its natural habitat. But still, it's okay. It's okay. I love to watch that huge rear spoiler from every single rear view mirror. Wow. I want twisty roads again. I want to get out of here. I love being into this car. It's raw. You don't have any button, anything on the steering wheel. It's just the driving pleasure. No fancy screens, not actually it is touch. I think it is touch. It is touch. Or not. Yes, it is touch. But still it's very small because you don't really care about all those fancy things into a car like the GT3. You just want to drive it. You just want to hold the steering wheel, hear the noise, feel the road, and that's it. Buy a Tesla if you want that huge screen experience. And this is me saying that. I did own a Tesla actually. We all make mistakes. I'm used to be on Audi cars, very isolated. You almost hear anything from outside, from inside. And here is the complete opposite. But again, it is normal. It goes very well with this car. I would not love to hear nothing and to be in a very isolated cabin into an almost race car like this one. I would be frustrated. And actually, I'm really feeling like I'm driving a race car on a public road. Actually, it's almost time I need to give this car back to the owner. But I'm so tempted to drive it a little bit more, just a little bit more. I couldn't resist. One more. I'm in love. It sounds way better in sport mode. Way better. I want to feel every bit of it. You know, sometimes I'm tempted not to turn on the camera and just enjoy. Because of course you may know that when you shoot a movie, there are a lot of things involved on the background that you don't see when you are going to watch this video, that sometimes you just don't appreciate the moment. But I'm trying to appreciate the moment now with you, and I hope I can convey that emotion to you. famous YouTubers wakes up at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning just to be on empty roads and appreciate the car. I'm not famous. I have the chance that people give me cars sometime, so I have to take what they give me without complaining. Which means that should I do it my way, my own way, I would wake up like 5 o'clock with this car and just drive. I wanna cry. You know what's cool? Is that in order to give back this car to the owner, I have to go the other way around. That's so cool! No pops, no bangs, no artificial stuff into this car. Just the raw engine and exhaust noise. Traffic. I know I'm repeating myself, but even driving this car at this speed with traffic in front, it's quite an experience. Uh-oh. I got everything today. I have to give this car back. So in conclusion, it's my dream car, that's it. There is nothing more to say to that. I have nothing more to add. To me, this is perfection. And I can even imagine what it is to drive a GT3 RS. Wow, if this is so good, then I don't know, maybe it's less enjoyable because they are more hardcore. Now I don't want to buy anymore a 991. I'm struggling to say 991 in English. 991. It's like Taiwanese. 991. I was saying, after driving this, I don't want a regular 991 Carrera. I don't want it anymore. I even don't want a GTS. I want this one. No, actually a GTS should be pretty good. Ferrari 458 Italia R8. Wow, cool cars. Let's go again on sport mode. I better stop here, because if I listen to myself, should I listen to myself, I would go back and do it again and again and again and again. But I truly have to give this car back now. There you go. Ooh, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. I can't reach the camera with the harness. There you have it. I'm so glad to have had this opportunity to drive this amazing 991 GT3. I loved every bit of it. It is definitely a car I would dream to own. And you? Do you like Porsche? Which 911 would you like to own? An old-timer? A most recent one? Let me know in the comment. Personally, I have a sweet spot for the 996 Carrera 4S, just because I love the shape of it and it is quite affordable now. As usual, please give this video a thumb up, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you won't miss a thing. Also, consider following me on the other socials, especially Instagram, if you want to know more about Wiz. Thanks for watching, I'll see you on the next one, bye bye!